important that that's designated. After that, several other people have been willing to speak. I'll just make it very clear, this particular press conference was called to speak about the victims in this case, all right? The details that you're about ready to ask anybody here may or may not be addressed today. I'm just letting you know that off the top, okay? And that will be handled by the other people who are here today. They may or may not be able to answer those questions, okay? Just so we understand why we're all here today to begin with, all right? So we're going to try to keep, you're going to hear my voice every 15 minutes. And then we'll get started. But I'd like to introduce Chief Tom Fuhrer, who is the chief of the Sanford Airport Authority Police Department.
We'll wait for that to finish.
Report any suspicious activity to the nearest law enforcement officer or airport employee. TSA has limited baggage that may be carried through the security checkpoint. Please check with your airline for further information. Passengers may now carry liquids, gels, or aerosols through the screening checkpoint in individual travel-size containers of 3 ounces or less that fit in a 1-quart size zip-top clear plastic bag. Beverages purchased in the sterile area can be carried onto your aircraft. Thank you for your cooperation.
Okay, we ready? Good afternoon, everyone. Less than 24 hours ago, we learned that the wife, child, and family dog of one of our police officers, an Andrew Tedesco, was struck by lightning in the city of Winter Springs. Andrew's wife, Nicole Tedesco, was transported to the Oviedo ER but did not survive her injuries. Andrew's daughter, Ava Tedesco, was transported to the Arnold Palmer Hospital where she spent the night for observation and has since been released. The dog, Vito, was transported to an emergency vet clinic where he spent the night for observation and also has since been released. I had the opportunity to spend the evening with Andrew last night, and I've been on the phone with him throughout the day today. While he's obviously devastated by his loss, he is doing remarkably well as he focuses his attention on caring for his daughters, Ava and Gia. Officer Tedesco and his family would like me to thank the Winter Springs Police Department, Seminole County Fire Department, Seminole County Public Schools, Seminole County Sheriff's Office, the staff at the Oviedo Medical Center, staff at Arnold Palmer Hospital, Sanford Airport Authority, and the victim advocates and chaplains that responded yesterday to provide services and assist him during this challenging time. To everyone who has expressed their interest in helping the Tedesco family, the Sanford Airport has created a GoFundMe account to collect donations, which will go directly to the family. If you go to the GoFundMe page and search "Honoring Nicole, wife of Andrew Tedesco," that will take you to our GoFundMe page. It's my understanding that other GoFundMe pages have already been established. I cannot verify to you whether those accounts are legit. While we do appreciate people wanting to help and, gather funds for the family, I don't know the legitimacy of those GoFundMe accounts. However, this is why we established this particular GoFundMe account, because I can assure you every cent will go to the family. Again, that's Honoring Nicole, wife of Andrew Tedesco. Andrew has asked me to pass on to everyone that he is overwhelmed with the kindness and support being expressed to him and his family, but asks that everyone please respect their privacy and give them the time they need to grieve during this difficult time. Before we take any questions, I'd like to turn it over to Chief Matt Track, who will provide you with a little bit of an update on the incident scene.
Thank you, Chief. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Matthew Track. I'm the Chief of Police at Winter Springs Police Department. I'll give you a little details about yesterday's tragic incident. First and foremost, the police department, the city, we extend our sincere gratitude and condolences to the Tedesco family and Sanford Airport Police during this difficult time. Yesterday, right around dismissal time, Keith Elementary located on Tuscaloosa Road, let out. Miss Tedesco picked up her children as she usually does, right off Trotwood Boulevard. School let out. She picked up her 2 daughters, crossed the street, and was subsequently struck by lightning. Immediately, 911 was called. Seminole County Fire Rescue responded and was on scene within minutes, provided life-saving measures. Witnesses on scene provided life-saving measures. Nicole was transported to the Oviedo ER, and Ava was transported to Arnold Palmer Hospital. Nicole was pronounced deceased at Oviedo ER, while Ava has recovered and has since been released from Arnold Palmer. This is a tragic, tragic incident that no one has ever expected. In 25 years of law enforcement, we've never dealt with something like this. Our community is strong, they're supportive, they're coming together. We want to thank all those that have helped with the family dog, and we will respect the wishes and be private with the Tedesco family as they grieve during this difficult time. I'd like to pass it over to our mayor. He has a few words to say.
Good evening. Really, ultimately, we are a very close-knit community. It is the wishes of our entire community, the city commissioners that are with me, and our entire city government that the Tedesco family understand that we all have families, and that this family is not alone. Winter Springs is an amazing place. We just want them to know that they're not alone. Really, we're willing to take questions at this point for any of us. Please feel free.
Chief, because school was letting out, I heard a lot of children and parents in the area at the time. Why were these 2 and a third 18-year-old, why were they the only ones that were really affected by this? Do we know that? Were they standing in a certain area, or what happened?
So what we believe is that the lightning actually struck a tree that they were standing next to. That lightning energized a certain amount of area, and they were ultimately affected by that. There were a couple other people that were affected. They were checked out by local rescue personnel and released.
That includes the 18-year-old that was reported yesterday. That person was how close, do we know?
I don't know the distances, but that person is okay and has been released.
We talked to a witness yesterday who said it started as just rain, and then the lightning was just out of nowhere. So it's possible that Mrs. Tedesco just didn't have time to reach the rest.
Correct. This storm came upon us fast. As you may know, there was no alerts, no severe weather alerts that came and prompted, hey, this storm's coming. It was bang, just like that. A little bit of rain came, lightning, and then it was just pure mayhem after that.
Is there any sense at this point of how Ava, the daughter, has anyone had any communication with her or communication with the daughter of how she's doing?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I was with Andrew and Ava last night at Arnold Palmer. She has been released. They were simply keeping her there to monitor her, do some tests. That's kind of the same thing with the dog. They were doing tests, and he has been since released from the emergency vet clinic that he was initially taken to, and since transferred to the family's vet clinic, where I assume they'll be picking him up as soon as they can. I know they've had some concerns, making sure that the dog was okay. That Andy told me that was Nicole's dog. We can't lose him. So they're going to be reunited here soon.
As far as Ava's spirits and everything, has she fully kind of processed everything that's happened so far, does it seem?
It's amazing how children are so resilient. I was there when her dad, told her that her mom was gone. Very, very sad, but took it very well. I know she remembered, being there with her mother, and then the next thing she remembered was waking up in the back of an ambulance because somebody was poking her with a IV needle. But she, all things considered, she was in good spirits. I know this is going to take time for things to settle in and, kind of come to reality for her. So, but overall, remarkable.
Are both girls still
Yes.
What do we know about Nicole? I mean, just looking through this release that you put out, it sounds like she loves her girls so much. Her whole life was about lifting them up. Can you tell us about her? Can you tell us about Andy and his focus on his family?
Unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to meet Nicole. I do know that the family did lots of things together. One of their passions was go-kart racing, and that's what they love doing. Just in the effort of trying to get this information out to you, I know Andy is looking to take some time to elaborate on his wife and give some more information. But, you know, all things considered, he's been in the hospital since this whole thing's happened and is just now getting home. So if you give us a little bit more time, I believe you'll get some additional information on Nicole and her story.
Chief, was he here yesterday working when this happened? How did you find out about it?
Actually, he was down at the go-kart track working on the go-karts, getting them ready for his daughters when this occurred. I was actually the one that called him because I got the initial reports and was a little confused, and actually called him because I wasn't sure if it was actually him that had been struck. So he picked up, and unfortunately I was the one to say, hey, there's something going on. I'm trying to get additional information, you know, but I think you need to start heading home. And we kind of worked together and got him to where he needed to be, and that's about it.
Are we allowed to use, there's a YouTube link mentioned in the release, can we share that as a cover, what this family needs? Can we share that video in our report?
Yes, that video is actually of his daughters and their passion for racing. It's a YouTube channel that they started putting together to show, you know, what they enjoy and what they love to do as a family.
My second question is just about your department. You all are the people that we take for granted to keep us safe. How has this affected you all at this whole program?
Well, it's obviously very sad. I'm fortunate to have a great group of officers with a lot of experience. You know, we've seen a lot of bad things over the years, but it's different when it's your family and someone that you know. So just like any victim, we have services and processes that are available, and we are going through those processes to talk about it. We're a smaller department, so we have a family atmosphere. You know, my officers aren't just another number like at a huge agency. We're all family, and we're all coming together, and we're all going to support one another. And I think we're going to come out of this, you know, just fine.
Did he work somewhere before here? It shows he's been here since April 2021.
Correct. He started with us in April of 2021. Prior to that, he was at the Orlando Police Department, where he was assigned to the airport division down there. I believe he was there for about a year. Prior to that, he was at the Las Vegas Police Department, again assigned to the airport division for a number of years. And the job at Orlando PD is actually what kind of brought him to the Orlando area. And actually, even prior to that, he was with the New York Police Department, so 20 plus years of law enforcement experience. Very much so, very much so. You know, just sitting around at lunch and talking, always talking about his kids and his wife and his family and what they're doing, and very much a loving father and husband, and very, very sad to see him have to grieve and go through the things that he's going through right now. Very, very sad. Anything else?
Just for maybe the mayor or the chief, talk about how the community is sort of rallying around family. Are you, what is your, I've been out there today, it seems like everybody is just sort of like, just wants to help this family.
Yeah, again, as I said, Winter Springs is truly a community of families that care about one another. There is a fine line that I would ask, if I may, that as the chief has requested on behalf of the family, that we give this family time to grieve. as this now father brings his daughters home and the family pet home, allow them time. Please use caution on social media. Please use a little bit of caution. Remember, we're here for them first, and let's just give them the time that they need. I think absolutely the most important thing that we do right now. Good.
One last thing. I believe you've all been emailed the link to the GoFundMe page. The link is also going to be posted on the Orlando Sanford International Airport Facebook page. Again, the one that is honoring Nicole, wife of Andrew Tedesco, is our official go-to GoFundMe page. Again, I can't speak for any other GoFundMe page, and I appreciate everyone that wants to do good things for this family, but I can't verify it. Again, go home, kiss your loved ones, tell them you love them. Life is unexpected. This is totally crazy, out of the blue. A lot of why did it happen? We don't know. So, this week you can go home, love your family, love your loved ones, express it. Thank you.
If you have any other questions, information is down at the bottom. We did put it out on Facebook, and we also tweeted it to your neighbors. Already have all of that. Anything else from us? Afraid we don't have a picture for you like that today. We'll have to figure out that out. Anything else for you? Okay.